and uttering holy mantras to protect his bow and arrows from danger. He specifically took the arrow presented to him by Lord Shiva, and while going out, he remembered Lord Shiva and his great favor. In this way, he appeared in front of the maternity home, equipped with his bow, known as Gandiva, and with various other weapons. So this Brahmana, this is the, I think, 10th time pregnancy. So now we will continue. Arjuna, who apparently had not left Dwarka because he had to fulfill his promise to the Brahmana, was called at night when the Brahmana's wife was to give birth to the child. While going to the maternity home to attend to the delivery case of the Brahmana's wife, Arjuna remembered Lord Shiva and not his friend Krishna. He thought that since Krishna could not give protection to the Brahmana, it was better to take shelter of Lord Shiva. This is another instance of how a person takes shelter of the demigods. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Kamaistaistar Bhuta Jnanah Prapadyante Anya Devataha. I remember when I used to live in Jersey village on 290. There was one big businessman that I was trying to cultivate. So finally he has the meeting with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And he was just keep on repeating about the demigod worship. And I remember this verse because Tamal Krishna Maharaj quoted this verse and give elaborate explanation. So quote, a person who loses his intelligence. Why? Because of the greed and lust. Forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take shelter of the demigod. Unquote. Of course, Arjuna was not an ordinary living entity, but because of his friendly dealing with Krishna, he thought that Krishna was unable to give protection to the Brahmana and that he would do better to remember Lord Shiva. Somebody has joined or something. Yes, Sparkle. Suchitra Devi. Later it was proved that Arjuna's taking shelter of Lord Shiva instead of Krishna was not at all successful. Arjuna, however, did his best by chanting different mantras, and he shot arrows up and down to guard the maternity home from all directions. A Brahmana's wife delivered a male child, and as usual, the child began to cry. But suddenly, within a few minutes, both the child and Arjuna's arrow disappeared into the sky. It appears that Brahmana's house was near Krishna's residence and that Lord Krishna was enjoying everything that was taking place. Apparently, in defiance of his authority, it was he who played the trick of taking away the Brahmana's baby as well as the arrows, including the one given by Lord Shiva, of which Arjuna was so proud. Antavattu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpamedasam. Quote, less intelligent man takes shelter of the demigods due to bewilderment and are satisfied with the temporary benefits they award. Unquote. So in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna and others, the Brahmana began to accuse Arjuna. Quote, everyone see my foolishness. I put my faith in the words of Arjuna, who is important and who is expert only in false promises. How foolish I was to believe Arjuna. He promised to protect my child when even Pradyumna, Anuruddha, Lord Balram and Lord Krishna had failed. If such great personality could not protect my child, then who can do so? I therefore condemn Arjuna for his false promise, and I also condemn his celebrated bow Gandiva and his impudence in declaring himself greater than Lord Balram, Lord Krishna, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. How can anyone save my child who has already been transferred to another planet? Due to sheer foolishness only, Arjuna thought he could bring back my child from another planet. Unquote. Thus condemned by the Brahmana, Arjuna empowered himself with a mystic yoga perfection so that he could travel to any planet to find the Brahmana's baby. It seems that Arjuna has mastered the mystic yoga power by which yogis can travel to any planet they desire. He first of all went to the planet known as Yamaloka, where the superintendent of death Yamraj lives. There, Chinta. So there he searched for the Brahmana's baby, but was unable to find him. He then immediately went to the planet where the king of heaven, Indra, lives. When unable to find the baby there, he went to the planet of the fire demigod, then to the planet of the Nirti demigod, and then to the moon planet. Then he went to Vayulok and Varuna Lok. When unable to find the baby on those planets, he went down to the Rasatal planet, the lowest of all planetary systems. After traveling to all these different planets, he finally went to Brahmaloka, where even mystic yogis cannot go. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Arjuna had that power, and he went above the heavenly planets to Brahmaloka. When he was unable to find the baby even after searching all possible planets, he then attempted to throw himself into a fire, since he had promised the Brahmana that he would do so if unable to bring back his baby. Lord Krishna, however, was very kind toward Arjuna, because Arjuna was the most intimate friend of the Lord. Lord Krishna persuaded Arjuna not to enter the fire in disgrace. Krishna indicated that since Arjuna was his friend, if he were to enter the fire in hopelessness, even indirectly it would be a blemish on him. Lord Krishna therefore checked Arjuna, assuring him that he would find the baby. He told Arjuna, "Do not foolishly commit suicide," unquote. So after addressing Arjuna in this way, Lord Krishna called for his transcendental chariot. He mounted it along with Arjuna and began to proceed north. Lord Krishna, the all-powerful personality of Godhead, could have brought the child back without effort, but we should always remember that he was playing the part of a human being. As a human being has to endeavor to achieve certain results. So Lord Krishna, like an ordinary human being, or like his friend Arjuna, left to Dwarka to bring back the Brahmana's body. By appearing in human society and exhibiting his pastimes as a human being, Krishna definitely showed that there was not a single personality greater than he. Quote, God is great, unquote. That is the definition of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at least within this material world, while he was present, Krishna proved that there was no greater personality within the universe. So seated on his chariot with Arjuna, Krishna proceeded north, crossing over many planetary systems. These are described in Srimad Bhagavatam as Saptadvip. Dvip means island. These planets are sometimes described in the Vedic literature as Dvipas. The planet on which we are living is called Jambudvip. Outer space is taken as a great ocean of air. And within that great ocean of air, there are many islands, which are the different planets. On each and every planet, there are oceans also. On some of the planets, the oceans are of salt water, and some of them, there are ocean of milk. On others, there are ocean of liquor, and on others, there are ocean of ghee or oil. There are different kind of mountains also. Each and every planet has a different type of atmosphere. So Krishna passed over all these planets and reached the covering of the universe. And this covering is described in Srimad Bhagavatam as great darkness. The material world as a whole is described as dark. In the open space, there is sunlight, and therefore it is illuminated. But in the covering, because of the absence of sunlight, it is naturally dark. When Krishna approached the covering layer of this universe, the four horses which were drawing his chariot, Saibya, Sugriva, Mahapuspa, and Balahaka, all hesitated to enter the darkness. This hesitation is also a part of the pastime of Lord Krishna, because the horses of Krishna are not ordinary. It is not possible for ordinary horses to go all over the universe and then enter into outer covering layers. As Krishna is transcendental, his chariot and his horses and everything else about him are also transcendental, beyond the qualities of this material world. We should always remember that Krishna was playing the part of an ordinary human being, and his horses also, by the will of Krishna, played the part of ordinary horses in hesitating to enter the darkness. Krishna is known as Yogeshwar, as stated in the last portion of the Bhagavad Gita. Yogeshwaro Hari. All mystic powers are under his control. In our experience, we can see many human beings who have yogic mystic power and who sometimes perform very wonderful acts. So Krishna is understood to be the master of all mystic power. Therefore, when he saw that his horses were hesitant to proceed into the darkness, he immediately released his disc, known as the Sudarshan Chakra, which illuminated the sky 1,000 times brighter than sunlight. The darkness of the covering of the universe is also a creation of Krishna's, and the Sudarshan Chakra is Krishna's constant companion. Thus, he penetrated the darkness by keeping the Sudarshan Chakra before him. Srimad Bhagavatam states that the Sudarshan Chakra penetrated the darkness just as an arrow released from the Shunga bow of Lord Ramchandra penetrated the army of Rama. Shu means very nice and darshan means observation. By the grace of Lord Krishna's disc, Sudarshan, everything can be seen very nicely and nothing can remain in darkness. Thus, Lord Krishna and Arjuna crossed over the great region of darkness covering the material universes. Arjuna then saw the effulgence of light known as the Brahmajyotir. The Brahmajyotir is situated outside the covering of the material universes, and because it cannot be seen with our present eyes, this Brahmajyotir is sometimes called Avyakta. This spiritual effulgence is the ultimate destination of the impersonalist, known as Vedantist. The Brahmajyotir is also described as Ananta Param, unlimited and unfathomed. When Lord Krishna and Arjuna could not tolerate the glaring effulgence, and he closed his eyes, Lord Krishna's and Arjuna's reaching the Brahmajyoti region is described in the Harivansa. In that portion of the Vedic literature, Krishna informed Arjuna as follows: My dear Arjuna, the glaring effulgence, the transcendental light you are seeing, is my bodily rays. O chief of the descendant of Bharat, this Brahmajyoti is I myself. Unquote. As the sun disk and the sunshine cannot be separated, Krishna and his bodily rays, the Brahmajyoti, cannot be separated. Thus, Krishna claims that Brahmajyoti is he himself. This is clearly stated in the Harivamsa. When Krishna says Aham Saha, the Brahmajyoti is a combination of the minute particle known as spiritual sparks, or the living entities known as Chitkan. The Vedic words show Aham, or I am the Brahmajyoti, can also be applied to the living entities, who can also claim to belong to the Brahmajyoti. In the Harivansha, Krishna further explained, quote, this Brahmajyoti is an expansion of my spiritual energy. So Krishna told Arjuna, quote, the Brahmajyoti is beyond the region of my external energy known as Maya Sakti. When one is situated within the material world, it is not possible to experience this Brahman effulgence. In other words, in the material world, this effulgence is not manifested. whereas in the spiritual world it is manifested. That is the purport of the word Vyakta Avyakta in the Harivamsa. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said Avyakto Vyakta Sanatanaha. Both these energies are eternally manifested. After this, Lord Krishna and Arjuna entered a vast spiritual water. This spiritual water is called Karana Ocean, which means that this ocean is the origin of the creation of the material world. This place is also known as Viraja because it is free from the influence of the three qualities of the material world. In Mrutyunanjaya Tantra, a Vedic literature, there is a vivid description of this Karana ocean or Viraja. It is stated there that the highest planetary system within the material world is Satyalok or Brahmalok, beyond which are Rudralok and Mahavishnu-lok. Regarding this Mahavishnu-lok, it is stated in the Brahma Samhita, Ya Karanar Nava Jale Bhajati Shma Yoga Nidram Ananta Jagat Andasa Roma Kupaha. Quote, Lord Mahavishnu is lying in the Karana ocean. When he exhales, innumerable universes come into existence. And when he inhales, innumerable universes enter within him. Unquote. In this way, the material creation is generated and again withdrawn. When Lord Krishna and Arjuna entered the water, it appeared that there was a strong hurricane of transcendental effulgence blowing, and the water of the Karana ocean was greatly agitated. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Arjuna had the unique experience of being able to see the very beautiful Karana ocean. Accompanied by Krishna, Arjuna saw a large palace within the water. There were many thousands of pillars and columns made of valuable jewels, and the glaring effulgence of those columns was so beautiful that Arjuna was charmed by it. Within that palace, Arjuna and Krishna saw the gigantic form of Anantadeva, who is also known as Sesa. Lord Anantadev or Shesanag was in the form of a great serpent with thousands of hoods, each one decorated with valuable effulgence jewels, beautifully dazzling. Each of Anantadev's hood had two eyes, which appeared very fearful. His body was as white as the mountaintop of Kailas, which is always covered with snow. His necks were bluish, as were his tongues. Thus Arjuna saw the Sasanic form, and he also saw that on the very short, white body of Sesna, Lord Mahavishnu was lying very comfortably. He appeared all-pervading and very powerful, and Arjuna could understand that the Supreme Personality Godhead in that form is known as Purushottam. He is known as Purushottam, the Supreme or the base personality of Godhead, because from this form emanates within the material world another form of Vishnu, known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. The Mahavishnu form of the Lord is also called Purushottam because he is beyond the material world. Tama means darkness and Ut means above transcendental. Therefore, Uttama means above the darkest region of the material world. Arjuna saw that the bodily color of the Purushottam Mahavishnu was as dark as a new cloud in the rainy season. He was dressed in very nice yellow clothing. His face was beautifully smiling, and his eyes, which were like lotus petals, were very attractive. Lord Mahavishnu's helmet was bedecked with valuable jewel, and his beautiful earring enhanced the beauty of the curling hair on his head. Lord Mahavishnu had 8 arms, all very long, reaching to his knees. His neck was decorated with the Kastuba jewel, and his chest was marked with the symbol of Srivatsa, which means the resting place of the goddesses of fortune. The Lord wore a garland of lotus flower down to his knees. This long garland is known as the Vaijanti garland. So today I'm moving to the different home and they must be arriving very soon. I have to pack up all my belonging and I have to go there and we will continue doing this reading from that at least for 6 7 days from there, and maybe last 2 3 days I will come back again here before we leave from for Bombay. On 28th afternoon we will leave from here. So I think we will stop here. Thank you very much for joining, and I'm so happy to hear all the devotees are chanting so beautifully the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's unimaginable that all of them are taking plenty of time to chant one mantra. What is the rush? We have wasted so many lives same way.
This is your contribution, Prabhuji.
Huh?
This is your contribution.
No, no, no. It's Lord Krishna and Radharani who I am. I'm a most fallen than you all. But through the association of devotees, we can see everyone is chanting beautifully. You know, I really relish when I hear the complete Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We have wasted many, many lives. I remember my chanting, how unattentive we were. Still, we have a long way to go, but at least we are on the right path. That perfect pronunciation and hearing is syllable nicely. And we know for sure our Acharya has promised us that day will come, that the holy name will reveal to us that he is totally non-different than Radha and Krishna. So we should look after for that. I have to get ready and I have to pack my bags and everything. It's not easy to travel. You know, every places you have to prepare and pack up your bag, and again you unpack your bag where you go there and start doing your activities. But it was very nice. In the
Hare,
morning, all
Hare
in the
Krishna.
morning, Haribol, Haribol.
Prabhuji, I want to ask you one thing. So, what is the standard time?
Huh?
What is the standard time? How much time you take to chant one round?
It depends how Krishna wants you to move. But normally it is more than 10 minutes for me every single day. That's for sure.
Oh.
And it's the important thing is you must hear it. And what is the hearing? Hearing means that if we are not chanting properly or we are missing some syllable, we should be able to catch it right there. That's called hearing. So if we are attentive to listen to our chanting, Krishna will help us to listen. And we will be able to easily recognize that this is not, I'm chanting properly. Let me improve on this. Let me improve on this. And slowly you will see that, like we see so many devotees are chanting so nicely. You chanted nicely. Even though it takes 15 minutes, so what? We should give ample time, because if we have a bad habit, we will continue to do the same mistake I have seen in the devotee's life. Whatever mistake they do, if they become little inattentive to those mistakes, the mistakes cave in very easily. You will never notice, as I was reading today, a very nice thing, that Maya Devi is so strong in this material world. Don't think that Maya Devi will let us go unless we remain so fixed and become dependent on Krishna. Let Krishna become an instrument in our life. And only way he can become instrument if we give him the chance to enter into our life. But if we try to manage everything ourselves, how can Krishna enter in our life? So this is the secret we learn from all the acharyas. We have to become one single pointed faith that Krishna is everything in my life and he will do everything best for me, nothing bad. Krishna is very kind. But with that faith, we need to chant the holy name, and you will see in your life so many things will happen, but you will remain steadfast. Externally, people may feel, oh, this Mataji is suffering like anything, but that suffering gives utmost pleasure. That's why expect something drastic should happen in our life. And we need to experience that mercy of Krishna, how kind he is. Nobody will save us, I can tell you. Any disease or any conditions, there is no one to help us except Krishna. And if we are living happily, well situated, be grateful to Krishna. Everything can be changed in a moment. When our actions result will come, karma, that we have to face it. But as we see that if we will chant nicely, then slowly those karmic reaction will be wiped out by the mercy of Krishna. So thank you very much. I have to get ready. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhuvaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And if you wish, please eat very less in the evening. There's no need to eat 3 times a day. We are spoiling our health by eating too much. And if you eat less, sleep is not